So I'm going to give you an example of how important solder connections are. If you look at this gray wire going, I've got my pliers on here. I'm going to get a different hand on this. The thing looked really good, clean. The solder connection looked complete. And on inspection, it looks pretty damn good. But it didn't get a good connection. You have to get the wire and the pin hot enough to flow that solder so it all becomes as one. I played this prototype for hours and never had a problem. Then I slapped it together at the very end, and thank goodness it started making a nasty crackling that you hear. So I can fix it up. I generally pay extra good care to make sure I have a good connection, but once in a while, this thing could have worked fine for years and only started giving fits later on. So I'm going to flow it and we'll see if that fixes it up. Okay. I've reflowed that solder joint. Now it's clean as a whistle. Solid as a rock. It was a cold connection. I double and triple check that stuff, but once in a while it happens. But so you see how much care it takes to get it right. That's one of the reasons you buy boutique, because hopefully you have somebody that takes the care to catch those little issues before they become a headache for you later. So I caught this one before it went out. So have a nice day. A follow-up to the video I posted the other day. Had a bad solder connection. See, when you put a wire through this pin, you're relying on, solder to, kind of fill that hole and make sure there's a good connection. When I first started, that's how I wired most of my connections. And then I ran into some problems where I wasn't always getting a good connection. So what I started doing when possible is putting the wire down from the top and filling out the entire hole. So in order to try to prevent this issue from happening again, I can't do that with this particular connection because it goes between two pins on the socket. It's a shared cathode connection. So what I've done is bent this wire to where I can assure long ways connection with the pin, and I'm going to show you the soldered product here in just a second. Okay, so I have my new bent wire in place. This is a cathode connection for a phase inverter. It goes from pin 3 across to pin 8. Okay, so you can see the wire's bent here. First of all, I have a much better access to make that solder connection. So as you can see, it flows right down that pin, which is nice. Now just bend this one up and I have a similar long ways connection. I can solder this one. So as we can see now, much better long ways connection on both of those connections, and I don't think we would ever have that problem again. Just clip off that excess right there. Nice solution to that. That will be in all my new builds from here out.